Hey guys, it's Tahi. We are going to do the last Race to World last Gallywix video. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. Uh, there are going to be a couple things that'll be linked in the description of this video. It'll be this raid plan and then a spreadsheet I will briefly show you after we do this. And then at the end of the video, we will watch one of my guild's latest kills. I played Elemental for the first time in years, so I could get a ranged POV for this video. To kind of show you guys what's going on. So please don't flame me if I suck at Ellie. Anyways, so this is just a template to kind of show you the markers we use. So if you want to duplicate the markers we use, so be it. We kind of just use one marker for each section. So purple goes top right, where the blue is already in when you walk in the room. Green, yellow, orange is the exact same thing. Skull is where we stand on pull for the boss to land at. And X is where we go to for like the safety spot. This is the liquid, not the echo strategy. So it's more of an intermission marker to know where you can go and stand and be safe when that rotating beam that happens in the intermissions. When you're playing melee DPS or a tank or a melee healer for your own safety, because the beam will stop before you have to step into the blue. So anyways, so a couple things before we get into the meat of the fight. I would tell you to set up your purple canisters with a number. So the way I did it is the most outside of the room was the lowest numbers, and they increase the numbers as you got to the center of the room. The biggest reason why I would tell you to do this is if you have a player die in progression, you're probably going to have at least one float soak player. So you can tell that float soaking player to like, hey, I need you in 2 instead of 1 now, or whatever it might be. It'll just lower the amount of wipes you have because of people not enough people being in the correct canisters. And overall will just make things easier so you can see more of the fight more consistently rather than wiping to not having enough people in a canister. There's also 2 healer soaks. The only time I will say this that healers will not get a healer soak is when the blaze lines come out. If you have 3 of your healers or all 4 of your healers all have blaze lines, it will make them ineligible to get the healer soak. So if one of your DPS gets a healer soak, don't panic. Tell them to go to their normal spot. So if they're assigned soak 4, just take it to soak 4. It'll be fine. But if that happens to you in progression, that's the reason why it happens. All of your healers got blaze lines and made them ineligible to get the healer circle. So be it. The thing that you will not see in the video that I'll show you later on is I would tell you to put these healer soaks in one of these canisters or 2 separate canisters now. So let's say, you have a healer, for the sake of the video, let's just say you have 4 holy priests. Probably don't, but let's just say you do. So let's say that this holy priest and this holy priest are always together, and they're always going to be in soak 1. So if one of them gets the circle, they're just always soaking it in soak 1. And let's say that this other holy priest is going to be in 3 and the other one's going to be in 4. And no matter which one gets it, they just go to their designated spot. Either one works. It's kind of irrelevant now. It will guarantee you have enough people in the soaks at all times. I would recommend doing that as another buffer to prevent wipes to not having enough people in the healer soaks or in the canister soaks. It is a small adjustment and a little bit more movement than what you'll see in the video later on, but it's really a nothing burger when it comes to adding more things on to the fight. Also, we'll get to this in the spreadsheet, but obviously you need to have assignments for who's going to be in what number soak. Bomb carry people. So at this point in time, I would recommend this. Your best 3 mechanical players to do the first 3 bombs of the fight. So it'll be this bottom right, this bottom left, and then the top left. The reason for that, a lot of older guides will tell you to like put mages on these, put whatever. I think at this point in time, with the survivability, the stamina, the healing, everything else, you should just put your 3 most mechanically strong players, the people that you trust the most to survive the entire fight, into those first 3 bombs. For the 4th bomb, you can either go with a demon hunter or a mage. Both will work. A mage is good because they will have to slow fall jump themselves into this location right here, which will allow them to dump the bomb and then alter time themselves back down. A demon hunter can do the same thing. They just fell rush across, dunk the bomb, and then vengeful retreat back onto the platform. Either one works. You're kind of stuck into those ones unless you want to use that gust potion that the tanks have to use. Mages all around are good for this, especially if they play fire, because if they proc cauterize, that's a cheat death and it won't blow up your entire raid. So fire mages are a very good and very safe option for this as well. The fifth bomb is always going to be a tank. It will almost always be the tank that does the soak on this side of the room, the orange side, when we get back to the markers. Vengeance Demon Hunter, in my opinion, is best because they don't have to use a potion. As far as I'm aware, all the other tanks will have to use that Gust potion. And then even once they use that potion, they're going to need a rescue or a life grip. So you're going to have some coordination there. It's not difficult by any means, but just so you know. Okay, so one of the biggest things from watching Race for World last in the last week that I've seen groups wiping to is bad blaze lines, and that still existed during, every raid team's progression for this. The biggest thing you want to do is take it away from the group. You want to go so far away, it's a non-mechanic for anyone else but the people that get blaze lines. I would strongly recommend just don't let people greed. Don't let people sit on the boss. Don't let people do anything but take these as far away as possible. It will reduce the amount of wipes you have. And since you're going to be down to about 2 weeks or so of progression before Cutting Edge is going to go away, you don't want to lose wipes because people are trying to do damage on a boss that, quite frankly, his boss or his health for the boss is irrelevant, right? It's like you have all the time in the world to kill this fight, and you don't need people to keep 100% uptime all the time on this fight for it to die. There's no DPS check when it comes to the boss anymore. I mean, never really was. So take your blaze lines away from the group. Absolutely do not do this where there's a blaze line going through or, going to be impacting people running out of baiting the frontal. Anything like that, that's all bad. Just tell people to take them far away. It'll make it much, much, much easier for everybody else. So the ads. The phase 1 ads are this technician and this wrenchmonger. It drops the bombs for the consoles. They spawn where you deposit at. So like right down here, right down here, right down here. The only ones that don't spawn on the outside of the room is going to be the ones that drop the 4th and 5th bomb, which spawn right here where my mouse is at right now. Nothing special. There is some aggro issues because all your DPS are just going to explode on these ads every single time. So, do whatever you can with tricks, with misdirect to try to get it back onto your tanks. The wrenchmongers, they don't really do anything, just get aggro. They do hit like a truck, though, if they enrage, so they aren't going to need soothed. When you get to the intermission, there's just a different kind of technician, and there's going to be 11 of them that spawn when you go in the intermission. They just need CC chained. They do a cast called Juice It, and if it goes off, one cast isn't going to do all that much, but a lot of casts going off together is going to kill probably 5-6 members of your raid team. So you just need to set up a CC chain. When we go through the kill video, I'll walk you through what my raid team does, but you just need to have a CC chain set up for those. And then the sentries, their cast is like 20 or 24 seconds long. It's super, super long. The problem is once you kick it once, you can never kick it again, and it will basically one-shot someone if it goes off on a player. So you want to put 2 ranged DPS players that you trust, probably your 2 best ranged Mythic Plus players, to do this kick. There is a 3rd that spawns in the second intermission, so you may need a 3rd kicker there. Just kick it when it's like less than 3 seconds left on his cast, and it should be a non-issue. Okay, so let's get into the fight. Right off the bat, the boss spawns. He does like this quadrant beam thing, and it starts rotating around. What I would suggest is just put 5 people per quadrant. The biggest thing that people need to realize is the further you are away from the boss. So if I am this hunter and I'm all the way back here, it's going to do more damage to me because I'm so far away. So all of your ranged DPS and all of your healers basically have to play in melee for this part of the fight. When the line that gets connected to your players, I would tell them to use a personal, especially if you have a Holy Priest, because I would strongly recommend using a Symbol of Hope once this is done, once you kick the boss, to just get a lot of those walls back up in like 30 seconds less or whatever it is. So outside of that, if you pull too early, I recommend having your tanks taunt. Sorry about that. 1.5 seconds before the pull timer hits 0, just so they for sure get aggro. Because if one of your DPS pulls before your tank pulls, the boss is going to Gatling gun them down, and they're going to die immediately. So, yeah. The other thing, too, to kill this boss super fast, he's going to do this large circle to land before he gets to this spot right here. It should be a big rule to like, hey, it is banned to die to this. Just get out of the circle. Some teams use a Warlock Gate to just gate out of this. Whatever you want to do is fine. I don't think that's necessary. Just run out and do damage once he lands. So, okay, so we're going to skip ahead to the 2-minute and 45-second part of the fight. This is by far the most difficult part of the fight. This is if you are a raid leader and you're trying to get your team to really focus down and get cutting edge in the next 2 weeks, have them study this part of the fight a lot, because this is the most likely wipe spot due to just how your raid has to work together in the entire fight. So the way it's going to work is I would strongly suggest setting down a lockgate that goes to your 3rd and 4th soaks at the back of the room. He's going to do blaze lines. And what I would tell you is, let's say that this evoker has blaze lines, and let's say he's my 3rd soak, so he should be right about here for his soak. I want him to take his blaze lines out of the group, and in a way so that as soon as his blaze lines go off, he can immediately get to his 3rd soak. What I don't want him to do is to go over here, let his blaze lines go off, and then he has this entire long distance to cover in the next 1.5 seconds before his soak goes off to do it. So obviously that's just one example. You can do the same thing with like the soak 4 people. They can go stand right here, so they're just 1 foot away, 2 foot away from stepping into their 4th soak. Melee people, exact same thing, except they obviously don't have to go way back here. They can use some of the sides and some of the center spots of the room for that. So blaze lines go out first. You still have to have players debate a frontal that will go towards this console that says deposit number 3 and 4. I will show you in the video, but there's a weak ore in the liquid pack that I'm sure just about everyone's using now that will say bait frontal, and it'll count down. And the moment you see it hit 0.0 seconds, that is the cue to lockgate. Just don't even play around, just lockgate. Once you do that, the soak goes off and you're done. And then you'll deposit the bomb from the technician you killed here. I would tell your player that's doing this 3rd bomb dunk, because that's what it is at this spot of the fight, is they can pick up their bomb and hold it so that they just go back here and do their soak and then go collect all of the balls after the frontal. To me, that's the safest thing to do. You're in no rush to get done with that giga-charged console, whatever it's called, mechanic. The 4th bomb, we personally use a Demon Hunter, and we give him Tiger's Lust so that he can just zoom over here to deposit super quickly. If you can also put down a Warlock Gate to help them get there fast, whatever it might be. We also give them Cocoon to help them survive just any sort of accidental or random AoE damage that's happening at that spot of the fight. They may not make it back for the last soak of the fight, so you may need to have a roam soak person if you do what we do, to make sure that they are covering this person if there's only 3 people in that canister that this person belongs in. Now we're going to intermission. Again, 11 technicians, 2 sentries. When we get to the last intermission, the second intermission, there's going to be 3 sentries. This is very, very big for your ranged. In intermission 1, you want your range to start on the outside ring, okay? So they want to be all along here. They do not want to be in this middle ring, okay? It is where the first red circles are going to appear, and it's just going to force more movement and less damage output when you really want to kill these technicians really quickly. So start on the outside of the room, have your daughters do this, but have everyone blow up these technicians, okay? They are by far much more dangerous than these sentries. Make sure people know not to kick these sentries unless they are assigned to do so. And then essentially the way it's going to go is you'll start on the outside, red circles will appear in this middle ring, and then red circles will appear on this outer ring. They'll go step into the middle ring, and they just ping pong back and forth until the intermission ends. Obviously, there's going to be like this little blue electricity stuff that's going to be, and I can draw it real quickly, that separates the rings, so it's going to be, you know, intermittent. And be eventually connecting all along here. Stepping in this is really, really bad. Your players don't want to do this. It's basically going to one-shot them if they take more than one tick, and it ticks like every half a second. So it's very likely that they'll take more than one tick. So that is the other thing. When you get to the second intermission, it's the opposite, and range will start in the middle ring, and then they'll ping-pong outside, inside, outside, inside, just like that. And the CC chain for us, what we do is we do Demon Hunter Stun into DK Blinding Sleet into Shaman Knockup, and then a Fear or another Blind, whatever it might be, if they're still alive at that point in time. Okay, this is your cone soaks for the phase 2. Soaks 1 and 3 should go on the star side, and soaks 2 and 4 should go on the orange side. The reason for that is the 5th bomb deposit is going to happen here. So that way your star side people can make more room for your orange side people earlier. So that once this 5th bomb gets dunked and all your orange side people need to come to the star side area of the room, they already have cleared a path for the people to start sliding into some positions. My recommendation is to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people per soak. You only need 5. 6 to me is safe because it allows you a little bit of a buffer in case someone dies right before the soak goes off. I also put 2 melee not in the soak on both sides for here, just so they can keep doing damage, because, you know, chances are you're gonna have more than just 4 melee and 2 tanks in your comp. So make sure your tanks know to leave a little bit of a sliver open for these guys. If they don't, they can also just play, you know, right here, as long as they're not playing right here where the lightning is going to be at. Yeah. So once you dunk the last bomb, the room's going to look like this, and your soaks just look like this. What I would tell you is it is incredibly likely on your first kill that you may get this first soak on this, we'll call them the original star side people. But you probably won't get the second soak on your original orange side people. But if you do, because you just have a lot of people dead, the boss is still very killable. So don't give up on the fight. Things I didn't draw here that we'll cover in the video is the bombs in the intermission and some of the standing positions for melee and range when it comes to phase 2 and phase 3, and the intermission as well. This spreadsheet will be attached in the description of the video. There's just some very quick clips to show people the intermission of the CC ads, how range should move, how melee should move, how to survive the suppression in phase 2 and phase 3, the ranged movement for the intermissions, and then safety routes for the suppression to get around that lightning and not die to the lightning as you're running out of the suppression. It might seem overkill, but it will be worth it to not have, 20 wipes in phase 2 because people are dying to stepping on lightning. So I would strongly suggest you do that. You can kill this boss like 5 pulls after you get past, the intermission with all 20 people alive, if everyone knows what they're doing and what absolutely not to do. Here's a quick little example of what like our assignments look like. Again, these canisters, I would tell you to do something completely different with where the fight is at now than what we do. There's just no point in for my raid team to change it at this point. And then I do see some raid teams putting more people than necessary in these frontal cone soaks in phase 2 and phase 3. Yes, you can do that, but just know you're actually just going to need more healing. Some people view that as like, oh, we're going to spread out the damage and spread out the healing absorb. You're actually going to have to do more healing because of that. So I would recommend a hard cap at 6. You can do 5, but I would say for progression, doing 6 is super safe. And then just make sure you know who your bomb people are. What I did for my bomb people is I got them a clip of all of their bomb runnings from different videos from a player of their POV. So I got my mages, I got my hunter, so on and so forth, so that they can see exactly what they need to do and what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and jump into our kill. Just run out here. And we're just dancing. And I'm going to back it up just real quick so you can see I'm going to have a weak aura pop up right here. As soon as I get it, I'm going to hit my astral shift right there. Bang. So I'm just a little bit more survivable. We're going to alter time, or sorry, not alter time. We're going to symbol of hope out of this anyways. We kick at about 10 seconds left. Anything more than that, to me, is completely unnecessary. And just do damage to these wrenchmongers. This technician, kill them fast. Blaze lines are going to get out, baiting the frontal. The blaze lines people are ineligible to have the frontal go on them, so there's no reason for them to hang out. And now we're going to go into soaks. I'm a soak 4 person here. And now we're going to go to the next set of ads. Just nuke these down real quick. And we're going to go to soaks here. Watch out for this bomb person running away. And now we're going to get blaze lines into a frontal. And this technician bomb is already down. So when this frontal goes off, it's going to leave behind these little orbs. You can see them right there. And my orb Krimi is going to pick up his bomb. He's going to run into these orbs, get the bomb to 100%, and then he's going to dunk. And that's going to end all of the damage that's going out right now. And now we're going to the next set of ads. And this is going to be the difficult spot of the fight. Everything's about to happen really, really quickly here. So these blaze lines are going to run away, and they're going to get in position of their soaks. Do not do what my man Thick does here. This is banned. This is giga bad. Do not do this. He should have ran away. He should not have continued to do damage here. So as soon as this weak aura, bait frontal, 0.2 seconds, as soon as it hits 0, that is your cue to gate. Don't wait for this blue line to show up. Just know, premeditate, you're going to have to use whatever button for your Warlock Gate toy to go. And I actually just go to 1 here because I actually wasn't assigned to anything for this week. We had more range than normal. So we did that 3rd dunk, and now we have the center ad spawning. Do not run the technicians away. Just slaughter these all together. There's no reason to run them away anymore. Bomb goes to the right. I would strongly suggest taking your blaze lines to the right. It'll make things cleaner here. Just follow where the bomb tank just went to. It'll just make it so that all of the people that bait that blue frontal can step left, and there's no blaze lines over on the left side of the room to knock anybody away. And we have one more round of soaks going. My 4th bomb person just took off to go handle his dunk. And we are going to push in mission right now. Simultaneously, my tank bomb holder went and charged his bomb right before we go to this intermission as well. That way he doesn't have to worry about it during this intermission or phase 2 specifically. Ranged are going to start on the outside of the room here. And you're just murdering these technicians. So Silent Sigil goes down, and before we have to do anything else, they're all just murdered. So outside of that, we're just doing damage to the boss, doing damage to the sentries. And as you can see, as a ranged DPS, we are just doing this ping pong thing of outside, inside, back and forth, back and forth. Intermission's over. We are going to phase 2. I'm going to be in the Star Side Soak, which is the more dangerous of the 2 soaks, and I will show you on the 3rd cone. So this is going to be the first soak. This red circle means you're in the soak, don't overlap with another player. I pop Astral Shift. I would strongly recommend using a personal when you soak these. We're going to get our first suppression. These little red circles are baited on players. Try not to bait them on the group stack point. And the thing I want to show by backing up real quick is I want you to watch the melee and how they get to me. They find areas that are safe to run through, which is those clips in that spreadsheet will show you too, so that they can get to me safely as well. These bombs are not in the raid plan. These are just go to a corner and stand in it and wait till it blows up. Even if you're a melee, you're doing 0 damage. Again, damage is irrelevant on this fight outside of killing the technicians in intermission. Just go to a corner, and if you do 0 damage, you do 0 damage. It is what it is. These blaze lines go out, treat them the same way, try not to be an asshole about them. Orange soak just went off. And now we're going to get another suppression. This phase 2, phase 3 is a very slow, like a new mechanic every like 10 seconds or something along those lines. Now we're getting a next set of bombs. Again, just try to put them in a spot where you're not going to make your raid mad at you. And this is about to be the most difficult part of phase 2. So we're getting a cone soak with a lot of extra mechanics are going to come out as well. So cone soak, there's going to be red circles on the ground, and there's going to be blaze lines. So for me, I'm going to pop Bulwark, which I've already hit. I'm pretty sure I hit Ellie Totem here. And then we're going to Spell Ward Tree, who's a healer. Mind is going to Turtle. Sheep, he's a monk, so he can use Diffuse Magic and another defensive. And then Fox is a rogue, so he can just Cloak. Essentially, what I'm getting at here is you want very strong defensives, or if you can get immunity people in this soak that have not dunked a bomb, you want to do that. It'll make it much more survivable. Because again, if any of your bomb dunker people die, it's bad. So you can see Sheep is actually going to die to this, but he's not a bomb dunker person because I don't know if he just doesn't pop diffuse or what, but and now we're going to get another suppression, and boss is already at 14%. So, you know, this isn't even like me specifically playing on like my strongest DPS spec tune, whatever I want to call it. And we're at 10% right now. You're going to get... I should point this out too. So these frontals that happen too, they still leave behind those little blue orbs that happened in phase 1. If you touch these, they do stun you. You can dispel them off your players if they do get stunned, but they do a lot of damage and it's a stun. It's super annoying, so just be very careful of them. If you're the raid leader, call it out so your players are aware. Ping them, whatever you got to do. This is the last orange soak. And my tank duck is about to go do the last bomb dunk of the fight. So I kind of get in a bad position here. I gust to wind out to put myself safe. We're going to get a last set of blaze lines. And what I've told my players is this Giga Blast, this third Giga Blast, is the cue to go dunk the 5th bomb. So he's going to wait for this frontal to get baited, and now he's going to go take off and go dunk that last bomb. You are not going to see the next intermission because we're just going to kill the boss here. But that should show you that we completely skipped the second intermission and the third phase of this fight, and the boss died. So damage, even on a first kill, really not that important. Kill the technicians in the intermissions, and that's kind of about it. The only thing that you missed by not seeing the next intermission is you'll start on the middle ring, not the outside ring if you're a ranged DPS, excuse me. You'll have one extra sentry that spawns like closest to the boss that also needs a kick, and that's kind of about it. I think the only other thing I want to point out is when we get to this intermission, right about here. So these beams, this middle beam, will spawn in the direct center. So this line that leads up all the way to the boss, it'll spawn on this line on melee. There's about a 3-second, I don't know what word I'm going to use, cooldown or immunity thing, where if the beam goes through you as a melee, it does nothing to you. So you can stand not directly on the line, but just a little bit more towards the line, and it will not do anything to you. But past 3 seconds, it will one-shot you. And then as we go through this intermission, the last thing I just want to point out is you're going to see this beam is going to start getting to my melee, and they're stacked on that X marker, but it's going to end right before it meets them. So if you are afraid watching this, like, hey, that's super risky, I don't know if I want to play it that way, you can dip into the blue very briefly. It won't do that much damage, like 20% of your health or something like that, right before the beam gets to you. You'll only have to take 1 or 2 ticks. There's no other raid damage going out at this part of the fight, so you'll probably be 100% health if your healers are doing their job. And that's it. So, anyways, those things will be linked in the description of the video. I'm sorry that these videos are a little bit longer, but those are the recommendations that I would make for Race to World Last for Gallywix. Again, my Discord will be in the description of the video as well, so if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. If you need a merc, I am happy to come help you. I have like 5 tunes that are 680 plus. Thank you for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Going forward, it'll probably be more preparation videos and more Mana Forge Omega content. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys can get your cutting edge for Undermine. Have a good day, guys.